Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing my summer book haul. So I'm going to be showing you guys the books that I got over the past 3 months from June, July, and August. So yeah, there's quite a bit of books to go through, so I'm just going to get into it. I will break this video up into 3 parts, so that I can get through it all. So yeah, I might be forgetting some books that I got over the summer, because usually I have a notebook that I keep track of my hauls and what books I get each month, but I lost my notebook. I have no idea where I put it, so I had to get a new one, and basically going off of memory, what I bought over the summer, so I might have more that I'm forgetting from this list. But yeah, let's get right into it. So for this video, for part 1, I'm just going to show the books that I got from Book Outlet. So these are all the books that I got over the summer from Book Outlet. So the first one is Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy, McGinnis. And this one, it's been a while since I read the synopsis, but if I'm remembering correctly, I believe it's a post-apocalyptic world where water is like a scarce resource and people fight over the water. I believe that's what it is. It's the first book in a series, trilogy. I'm not sure how many books there's gonna be. The second book, In a Handful of Dust, I believe it's called. That one's already out. But I just got the first one. So yeah. And then the next one, this one has also been on my TBR list for a while to get, and it was on Book Outlet for pretty cheap. So I was like, yep, I will get it now. And this one is Compulsion by Martina, Boone. And it is part of the Heirs of Watson Island series. It's the first book in the series. I don't remember too much what this one's about. It says 3 plantations, 2 wishes, 1 ancient curse. So I know there's a curse in there, but I don't really remember too much else about this book. It's I think it's like a Southern Gothic type of book. Jennifer L. Armentrout says, darkly romantic and steeped in Southern Gothic charm, you'll be compelled to get lost in the Heirs of Watson Island series. So, yeah, it sounded really good when I read the synopsis the first time, but that's been a while ago, so I don't really remember too much. But I do want to get to this one, hopefully soon. And then, the next couple books that I got are all by Hopkins. And you guys know I read her Crank series. Well, I read the first book, Crank, last month, and I absolutely loved it. And from there, I was like, I have to get all of her other books. I wanted to get them all, so I don't have them all yet, but I do have a couple of them. So the next one I'm going to show is Triangles by Hopkins. And this is actually an adult book. Most of her books, I believe, are young adult, but this is actually an adult book. And this is about a woman who has an affair. And there's just a whole bunch of trouble in her family with her kids and her husband, and she ends up having an affair. That's really all that I really know about this one. And typically it's not the type of book I would normally pick up, but since it's Hopkins, and I said I wanted to read all her books, I figured I'd get it and give it a shot. And it's written in prose, so I should be able to get through it pretty quickly. So, yeah. And then her next book, the next book I'm going to show you, also by Hopkins, and it's another adult book. And another one that typically I probably wouldn't have picked up if it was by any other author. Probably wouldn't have picked it up. But I did, and this one is Collateral by Hopkins. Again, this is another one of her adult books, and this one is about a woman whose husband is in the military, so he's off on deployment a lot, and pretty much about their relationship, and I guess if they're gonna make it. So yeah. Again, wouldn't normally pick it up, but I wanted to read all her books, so, and it was cheap on Book Outlet, so I was like, why not? And then the last one that I got, the last Hopkins book that I got, and this one I actually already read, because this one is the second book in the Crank trilogy, which after I read Crank, I was like, I need the second one right away, because I really want to find out more and know what is going to happen. So I got it, and that is Glass. So it's the second in the Crank trilogy, and so I will talk about this book more when I do my wrap-up, my September wrap-up. So, yeah, I won't get into it now, but I talk about it in my September wrap-up. But this one, like I said, second book in the Crank trilogy, so it follows Christina, who is addicted to crystal meth, and goes more into her story with her addiction. So, yeah. And then the next one that I got, the next book is actually a bind-up. So it's 3 books in one. And this is one I've been wanting for a while as well. And that is the Trylle trilogy by Amanda Hocking. And so there's 3 books in this, and this book is kind of heavy. There's 3 books. It's Switched, Torn, and Ascend. So I have her, Amanda Hocking's other books, the Canaan Chronicles. I have the first 2 books in the Canaan Chronicles, which that is actually a spin-off of this series, Trylle. So I figured I'd get this and read it first. And it's been on my TBR for a while. I saw someone, there was a woman in my class a couple years ago that was reading this book, and she was telling me about it, and it sounded really interesting. And so it's been on my TBR for for at least 2 or 3 years. But I never got it till now. And I believe this series is about trolls, I believe. So yeah, definitely want to get into it soon, hopefully, so I can get into the Canaan Chronicles later on. And then the last book that the last one that I got is actually, this one is actually another one that, has been on my TBR list for a while, and I always saw it at Barnes & Noble, and wanted to get it when I saw it, but it's Barnes & Noble, so kind of expensive at the time, but then saw it on Book Outlet, and of course Book Outlet, way cheaper. So this one is Gated by Amy Christine Parker, and this one is, I'm trying to remember, it's I think it's a psychological thriller, and I believe it's like about this cult, and the main character like escapes from this cult that she was in. That's really all that I remember of this. So yeah, I don't remember too much, but it did sound really interesting when I first read the synopsis. So definitely want to get into it. And I do like the cover. The cover is kind of creepy, but it's kind of cool. So yeah. That's pretty much it for this first part. That's all the books that I got from Book Outlet. So I will see you guys soon for part 2, where I will go through some of the books that I got at Barnes & Noble. So see you guys soon. Bye.